The glass slipped from my hand the moment she said it. I don't owe anyone loyalty, Maya laughed, her wine-red lips curving as the room erupted in laughter. Not even to my husband. He should have worked harder if he wanted to keep me interested. The restaurant was silent for half a second, just enough time for the burn to reach my chest before the laughter started again. Her colleagues thought she was joking. I didn't. That was the night I realized my wife, my best friend, my pride, had humiliated me in front of her entire firm. And she didn't even flinch. Maya had always been ambitious, the kind of woman who could walk into a boardroom and make men twice her age listen. When we first met in university, she was fire, unapologetically bold. I loved that about her. But somewhere between late-night strategy sessions and client trips that lasted longer than her promises, I began to feel like I was living with a stranger. First, I told myself it was stress, work, ambition, the things we'd both sacrificed for. But then I noticed the little things. Her phone always face down, her perfume stronger when she came home late, her sudden bursts of laughter at texts she never let me see. And then came that dinner. Her firm had just landed a major client, and she insisted I join the celebration. I didn't want to, but she asked, almost pleaded. So I went. I watched her all night, laughing, leaning close to her boss, whispering things that didn't belong between colleagues. And when the wine loosened her tongue, she made that joke, that gutting, humiliating joke that turned my blood cold. She saw my face. She knew she'd crossed a line. But she just smiled and raised her glass. To her it was power. To me it was the end. That night I didn't shout, didn't accuse, didn't even ask questions. I just said, I'll see you at home. She stumbled through the door an hour later, smelling like whiskey and arrogance. Oh, come on, Aaron, she scoffed when I confronted her. It was a joke. Don't be so dramatic. Do you even hear yourself? I said quietly. You mocked our marriage in front of everyone. Her eyes rolled. God, you're so sensitive. It's not like I lied. That line, it's not like I lied, hit harder than a confession ever could. Something in me broke that night. I didn't sleep. I sat in the dark, watching her breathe, and I knew I couldn't keep pretending. But instead of confronting her, I decided on something else. Something colder. Maya worked for an elite PR firm, the kind that specialized in reputation management for corporate clients. Her biggest strength was manipulation, spinning lies into gold. And she thought she could manipulate me too. But what she didn't know was that I'd been quietly watching, listening, collecting. She'd used my laptop once to work on a presentation when hers crashed. That's when I noticed the shared folders, synced automatically to her firm's private drive. She must have forgotten to unlink her account. So while she slept, I opened it. And there it was. Evidence of everything she'd hidden. Messages between her and her boss, long after office hours. Some professional, some not. Photos from a business trip that looked more like a honeymoon. And worst of all, confidential client documents, leaked between her and a rival agency. I didn't need revenge then. I just needed truth. But truth, I learned, hurts more when it's cleanly delivered. For weeks I acted normal. Made her breakfast. Kissed her cheek before work. Let her think I was healing, forgiving. But behind the calm, I built a quiet storm. Copied the files. Organized every email, every photo, every text. Then I traced the rival agency and found out they'd recently landed one of Maya's clients. A deal worth millions. Coincidence? Well, the trail was clear. She'd been leaking her firm's pitches through her lover. He used her to secure the deal. She thought she was smart, that he loved her. But he was just using her to climb. And I made sure everyone would know. One Friday morning, I sent an anonymous email to her company's ethics department. Every file attached. Every timestamp matched. By Monday, her office was chaos. I watched from the window as she stood outside. Phone pressed to her ear, her confident posture collapsing with every minute. When she came home that evening, her hands were shaking. Someone leaked my private messages, she whispered. They're saying I violated NDA terms. I could lose everything. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Maybe you shouldn't mix business with pleasure, I said evenly. Her eyes darted up, realizing I knew. Erin, what did you do? I just told the truth, I said. Something you never managed to do. She was suspended within days. Her lover, the boss, denied everything. Threw her under the bus to save himself. By the time her name hit the internal audit reports, her career was effectively over. No PR firm would touch her. And she still didn't know it was me. 4 months after, she tried to rebuild. Applied to smaller agencies. Tried freelancing. But word travels fast in her industry. No one trusted her. We still lived under the same roof for a while. 2 strangers tied by silence. She grew quieter, softer. Sometimes I caught her staring at me, as if searching for the man she once knew. Once she said, "You've changed, Erin." I smiled faintly. "So have you." The divorce came quietly. No drama. No accusations. Just paperwork and the hollow sound of something ending. When she signed the last page, she whispered, "Was it worth it?" I didn't answer. Because the truth was, I didn't know. She'd humiliated me. Betrayed me. I'd taken her pride, her career, her future. But standing there, watching her walk away with trembling hands, I didn't feel victorious. I felt empty. A few months later, I ran into one of her former colleagues. Over coffee, she said, "You know, Maya never really recovered. She's working at some small firm now. Part-time. Keeps to herself. Shame, really." She was brilliant. I nodded, but the words stayed with me. She was brilliant. She was. Before ambition twisted her. Before betrayal poisoned everything we'd built. That night, I opened the folder again. The one with all her files, all her sins. And for the first time I deleted it. Every single piece of it. Because I realized the revenge hadn't given me peace. It had just chained me to her memory. Months later I got a letter. No return address, just a familiar handwriting. "I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I never meant to hurt you like that. I thought I was proving myself, but I lost everything that mattered. Maybe I deserved it. Maybe you were right to destroy me. But I hope one day you find peace, even if it's not with me." I read it twice. Then I set it down, staring out at the quiet street. She was wrong about one thing. I hadn't destroyed her. She'd done that herself. I'd only given truth a little push. But she was right about peace. Doesn't come from vengeance. Comes from letting go. It's been 2 years now. I've moved cities, started my own small marketing firm. Some nights I still think of her. The way she laughed before everything turned bitter. The way we once believed in each other. And sometimes when a client asks me about my golden rule in business, I smile and say, "Never betray the one who believed in you most. They know exactly where your weakness lives." 'Cause I do. I learned it the hard way. From the woman who humiliated me in front of everyone. And never knew I'd destroyed her career, until it was too late.